Acorn, there was a corporation called SHIELD. SHIELD was known for its high-tech gadgets and advanced met. In the bustling city of Acorn, there was a corporation called SHIELD. SHIELD was known for its high-tech gadgets and advanced medicines, but behind its shiny facade lay a dark secret. Deep inside their laboratory, scientists were working on an experiment intended to enhance human abilities. However, the project took a terrifying turn and unleashed a disease that would soon plunge the entire city into chaos. The story begins with Mia, a curious and brave 13-year-old girl. She lived with her grandma in a small house on Maple Street. Mia loved exploring the city, but she also had a knack for getting into trouble. One day, while wandering near the SHIELD building, she saw a small door slightly open. Her curiosity got the better of her, and she quietly slipped inside. The air inside was cold and strange. Mia tiptoed through the dark hallways, her heart racing with excitement. Suddenly, she stumbled upon a room filled with strange glass containers. Some held bright green liquid, while others had small, moving figures. As she peered closer, Mia realized with horror that they were lab rats with glowing eyes. She quickly stepped back, not wanting to get caught. Just then, two scientists in white coats entered the room, arguing loudly. Dr. Wren, the sharp-witted lead scientist, was furious. This was not part of the plan. We need to contain this before it reaches the city, he yelled, his glasses slipping down his nose. Calm down, doctor, said a tall, nervous man named Mr. Blake. We can fix this. The last test was just a small error. But that's exactly what led to the zombie disease. The last batch infected everything. Dr. Wren snapped. Mia's blood ran cold. She had seen enough for one day. Quietly, she slipped out of the lab and rushed home. With her heart still pounding, she knew she had to warn her friends. The next day, Mia gathered her best friends, Sarah and Ben, at the local park. You won't believe what I saw at SHIELD yesterday, Mia exclaimed, out of breath. She quickly told them about the lab and the zombie disease. I don't believe you, said Ben, a skeptical boy with glasses. But Sarah, always up for an adventure, was excited. We need to find out more. Let's sneak back in. As dusk fell, the three friends held hands and made their way back to the SHIELD building. They crept inside, careful this time not to make any noise. The laboratory was eerily quiet, and the shadowy lights flickered overhead. We need to find the main control room, Mia whispered. They moved quickly, glancing over their shoulders, dread growing within them. After a while, they found a big door marked, Control Center. Mia pushed it open, and they stepped inside. Rows of computers blinked in the darkness, and behind a large glass window, they glimpsed a scene that made their hearts drop. In cages were not just rats, but people, faintly alive, with vacant eyes. It was terrifying. We have to get out of here, Ben said, his voice trembling. But just then, they heard a loud crash. The door slammed shut, and a giant gate sealed them in. Did you think you were going to stop us? A voice sneered from the shadows. It was Dr. Wren, flanked by security guards. Welcome to my lab, kids. You've just walked into a nightmare. Mia's heart raced. They were caught. But instead of surrendering, she felt a surge of courage. You can't keep innocent people like this, she shouted. Dr. Wren laughed coldly. Innocent. They are the key to my super soldier project. Soon you'll all be part of my grand design. Suddenly, the computers flashed with warnings. What's happening? Sarah gasped. The zombie disease had begun to leak into the building, and alarms blared. Dr. Wren hurried to the controls, panic flashing across his face. No, it's out of control. The children realized this was their chance. Run, Mia shouted. They dashed towards the emergency exit. Behind them, they could hear the chaos of people waking up, transformed into tormented zombies. We have to save them, Ben yelled, but they were too deep in panic. They burst out of the building into the fresh night air and kept running until they reached the park. Mia turned and looked back, heart still racing. "We need to tell people," she said breathlessly. "We have to stop S.H.I.E.L.D." With determination in their hearts, the three friends formed a plan. They would gather evidence and alert the city. They would not let fear silence them. Days turned into weeks as they worked together, sharing pamphlets, talking to news reporters, and spreading the message. The people of Acorn began to awaken to the reality of S.H.I.E.L.D's dark deeds. One fateful evening, a brave crowd gathered in front of the S.H.I.E.L.D. building, ready to demand answers. As drums of protest beat, Mia, Sarah, and Ben stood at the front, holding their heads high. Together, they had transformed fear into strength, vowing to fight against the evil lurking within S.H.I.E.L.D., because sometimes it took the courage of a few to spark the bravery of many.